Welcome back to another video on Field of Play TV. As you can see, we got a special guest with us. You know, I'm trying to say first guest on the instant reaction segment. You know what I mean? It's a special one, man.
Exactly.
Another United fan to feel the pain with us. Moyo from Goal Diggers podcast. What are you telling me, man?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Nah, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure, honestly. What are you saying, Sanch? You good?
Yeah, man. All good, bro.
You're not looking too good, man.
Bro, there's not a lot to be positive about. I'm not gonna lie, but we keep it.
I might have to bring the positivity today because I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
Speaking to Moyo off air, he's feeling the same way as you still. I can't lie.
Bro, I don't blame her.
There's actually nothing to be smiling about right now.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's the new me in it, but I'm just trying to be just more, you know what I mean, optimistic. But let's see, man. Let's see. Cool. So obviously we've had our pre-season. We had 6 games to be exact. Faced a few Premier League teams. We faced Palace. We faced Liverpool. We had the test against Atletico, Rayo Vallecano. We had a Melbourne victory. So we had a few. We had Liverpool, obviously. So yeah, we had a few decent tests in there. What did you make of I would say how our preseason started, Moyo? Like, what did you think?
I think you could see that it was clear the kind of football that Ten Hag wants to play. I think like my criticism with the other managers that we've had recently has really been that I've not been able to see what the manager wants to do. Like there's nothing I can see in terms of like playing style. It seemed to be like more of a game by game basis. But I feel like in this early preseason we sort of approached all the games the same in the sense that Ten Hag wants to play a specific way, and I feel like we saw that happen. The problem that I was seeing was that like whilst the tactics and stuff was good and like what we were seeing was good, the actual personnel can't carry out what he wants to the fullest. Like it's like it's all well and good like coming out of the press and beating the press, but then if the ball lands and now it's at McTominay's feet, it's like, okay, what's the plan now? Like, yeah.
Nah.
But I saw some good stuff though.
Yeah, nah. For me, the inverted fullbacks was something that I really, really picked up on, and the way we want to win the ball back straight away. So it was a good. I don't know, man. Pre-season is a difficult one because you want to take what you see prior, but then we've had pre-seasons where we've done well and we've been awful going into the season, vice versa. So it's an odd one because I see other fan bases getting excited with a few things that they're seeing. You know what I mean? The Arsenal lot around the corner and they're getting excited with what they're seeing and that. But I don't know, man. I feel like United fans are kind of like we're just trying to take it how it comes. What do you think, Sanch? What's your thoughts?
I feel like a lot of us are a little bit scarred from we're still a little bit scarred from last summer. You get what I mean? So I feel like touching on what Moyo said, it's like, we're seeing good things, we're seeing positive things, and we might go beat Brighton on Sunday and whatnot, but there's still that linger in the back of your head where you're just going to be like, these players are eventually going to let us down, and it's like a feeling like I just want to get as much players as we can, like just chop down as much players as we had from last season, and maybe just get as much players in this summer to just kind of squeeze that mentality, that feeling out of the team. So yes, we've seen some positive things, and it is positive signs. We can't, like you said, I can't be. I'm not really the most positive person in the world, but at the same time, with a manager coming in, you can't. I don't want to be grumpy about it either. Like I don't want to be like, oh, these players are going to let us down eventually, because you don't know. It's like sometimes there's things outside of football. Ten Hag might come in and take control of the dressing room, and that might change a lot of things in that dressing room. That might then lead to better performances, better behaviour. So I've seen positive things in pre-season. It's good to see. Obviously, we ain't seen a lot of the new signings apart from Malacia at left back.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
That's obviously a positive. Looking forward to how Martinez fits in, how Eriksen fits in. Because I feel like with our lack of central midfield signing, I feel like Eriksen might play a big role in and around that area. We obviously see him as an attacking midfielder, but there were times in pre-season where Fred was obviously the deeper of the three, and then it will be obviously Bruno, Van der Beek, or McTominay. So I think McTominay could fill Eriksen could fill one of them roles. So that's obviously positive to see. But like we said earlier, the personnel to carry that out, especially the current personnel, I do hope a few more players do come in, because I'm not gonna lie, one or two more players coming in, and it might change a few things. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
positive, but I can't help but just say I can't forget last season. I can't forget what these players have done. So I'm just steadying myself. You get it?
Nah, definitely. What did you think of the new signings, Moyo? So obviously they didn't really. This is what I'm saying. United always do this as well. Like sign a player and they're not going on tour with the team. It look like, shouldn't you have planned all of
It's
those
so
things?
dumb.
And
A free agent, a free agent.
You get it, bro.
Literally.
I'm at the stage now where it's like I'm trying my hardest to just say, cool, let's see how the season goes. But as Sanch said, I'm just scarred. So it's like things of old. We're going to speak about the De Jong saga and whatnot, but just things like that, things like how long it's taken us to wrap up deals. We're going into the season, it looks like, with the same midfield. Not even the same midfield, because Matic and Pogba and Lingard have left.
Gone. Yeah.
We've managed to make it worse.
Midfield.
Yeah, literally.
So
worse midfield.
It just baffles me. So it's like, I'm happy with the new signings coming in, but a part of me is like, oh man, like it would have been nice to actually have a few midfielders, because things like Sanch said would be just looking completely different. So what did you make of Martinez, Malacia, and Eriksen, of what you've seen so far?
I speak probably most obviously on Malacia, who I've seen like at least in a couple games now. I feel like in the first game he looked shaky defensively.
Yeah.
He looked a bit like he did, like sometimes when defenders are a bit over eager. Like that's kind of what he looked like in the first game. But I feel like the last couple games that I've seen him in, he looked a lot more assured, on both ends of the pitch. Like we know that he can do the attacking side. I feel like he was bought mainly for his attacking side. And I feel like the worry with those sorts of fullbacks is that, right, but can they defend? Because there's no point you being able to, like, this is not Liverpool and Trent and all this, and because like there's no Van Dijk in our backline, there's nobody in our backline. There's no Fabinho at defensive midfielder. There's none.
Sanch agreed. He'll tell you we got fire there.
Listen, don't even get me started on that one. Don't even get me started. He's actually looked good past couple games. He's looked good. He's looked assured. Like his link up play has been really good with the wingers as well. So like with Rashford, it looked really good. Eriksen, from what I saw in the Atletico game, like his technical level is just a level above a lot of like most of our players. So like Bruno does some stupid stuff the vast majority of the time. Like a lot of what he does is just dumb. So, and it's nice to see a number 10 that just like that shows that you can do creative stuff without losing the ball every 10 seconds. Like
keep going. Let her finish.
Cool.
Listen, if you're a Bruno fan, like I know where you stand with everything. I feel like if I ask someone like, are you a Bruno fan? Your answer to that tells me everything.
That's what you're saying.
Listen, he in the beginning of pre-season, I was like, oh, he's cut out the madness. No, the madness is that he tried to cut it out, but he can't. It's not possible.
He lost the ball. I know you're talking about the last game we played. So this is what I'm saying.
That last game was him. That last game, was the epitome of Bruno.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying though. For the 4 games he played, he was. No one was complaining about him. Then
he was good. He was good.
Suddenly, we see, he's losing the ball a few times, and then you lot have got your pitchforks out sitting.
Nah,
by the
pitchfork
stadium.
isn't even out because I've got bigger fish to fry. Until I've got McTominay out of here, I can't be fighting against anyone else. But you see, Bruno, he's madness, like what I saw in the last game just tells me that it's within him. Like, as much as he tries to suppress it, it's actually in him. He
Yeah.
said the other day, yeah, it's funny that people complain now because I'm losing the ball just as much as I did when I first came. I was thinking, and I hated you then as well. So where do we go
Yeah,
from here?
that's what you're saying about my boy. Listen,
So
cool.
so
We're not gonna make this the Bruno Sanch. I know you're ready with your pitchfork, but
no,
please.
no, I'm not. I just want I've not watched all of preseason, but
Yeah.
do you have you seen? Even I know you've said there's the frustration is still there, and Bruno will be Bruno. But have you seen a slight change or a change where you think go further into the season where you think, okay, Ten Hag might be able to calm him down, maybe
Yeah.
have him playing in a way that Ten Hag wants him to, kind of thing? Have
No,
you seen enough? Do you get?
he's definitely more efficient. Like, I can definitely see him being more efficient than last season in terms of like how he uses the ball. But that's
Yeah.
only because Ten Hag is not going to give him the freedom that he wants. The problem before is that Bruno has had all the freedom in the world. So when he wants to play like a madman, there's no one to tell him to stop. From what I've seen from Ten Hag is that he's stopping them after everything. In terms of like the training sessions and the little snippets that have been released and stuff, like it looks like he's being very particular about what he's seeing. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what was always needed for Bruno. I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And funny,
Yeah.
what you said was my argument to people telling me that Bruno couldn't play in Ten Hag's system. I mean, good players adapt. That's what
Yeah.
I believe. Bruno is a fantastic player. Every player has their flaws.
Ooh.
I believe
I
he's a
don't know
fantastic.
about fantastic. I don't know about fantastic.
Listen, we can have this conversation. We'll have this conversation on another. Trust me, we'll revisit it through the season for sure. But because of time, let's move on and let's discuss transfers. So pre-season we touched on briefly. We've seen a few things. I could say that we can all say that we've liked from pre-season. Not trying to get too ahead of ourselves. Are we ready for the season? I mean, I already know your answer, but I mean, if it's a no, as I think it would be, why are we not ready? Why are we not ready for the season?
In terms of transfers,
Yeah, in terms of transfers, like, what's your
like,
take on everything that's gone on?
I mean, I think it was said before, to be fair, like when we had Pogba and Matic in the midfield, I still said we need two more midfielders. I said we need a replacement for Matic, and we need someone that will play where Pogba was currently playing. So like where he was playing, because he didn't even really want to play there. He wanted to play further up. So I was saying we need someone to replace that sort of like literally proper CM. They left, so now we need four, in my opinion. Like we actually needed four midfield. Like obviously that's us being greedy, but minimum we needed three midfielders, not including an Ericsson type midfielder. I'm talking about just straight central
Central
midfielders,
midfielders.
and we didn't get any. Like we've been chasing someone. Obviously, look, I feel like with the De Jong stuff, we don't really know what's happening because there's only so much that they can say while still holding like some sort of what would you call it? Like for them to still have power in the transfer situation, there's only so much that they can say in terms of his camp and his team. But at the same time, we needed more than De Jong anyway. So the other players that should have been bought alongside De Jong should have already been bought, and then De Jong should have been the final piece that would have come.
Mhm.
But right now we're sitting and we still don't have anyone outside of De Jong, and we don't have De Jong. So right now it looks like we're going into the season with Fred and Mctominay again.
So, what's your thought process? Do you want us to continue to stay with this De Jong chase, knowing that we can have egg all over our faces at the end of the transfer window, or do you think we should stick with it? Like, what's your thought process in terms of that?
I think we need to go and get a midfielder, a central midfielder,
Mm.
right now.
Mhm.
Like the scouts are like, if the scouts are doing their job, there should have already been other people lined up. Like obviously, De Jong is someone that you want as well, but we need other midfielders anyway. Even if De Jong comes, I would still want more midfielders.
Mhm.
So the other midfielders should have been bought already. They need to go and find somebody else right now. That's not necessarily to say instead of De Jong, but that's to say even if De Jong comes, I would still want this person because, in my opinion, if Fred and McTominay are the starters right now in the pivot, I want two new people in that pivot. So they need to go and so even if De Jong comes, okay, that means we've got one of them out of here. We need the second one out of here as well.
To be fair, so you're even saying not even a squad player thing, like you don't need to
Fred can be a squad player, by the way. Fred can be a squad player. McTominay needs to get out. I'm not gonna lie to you. That one I'm a hater. I'm a hater for him, yes.
You ain't liked anything you've seen from Fred in that position. No.
Fred, yeah. Fred, I've seen a lot of good stuff from. I don't mind Fred staying, by the way. When I say outfield, I just mean of the starting 11.
Okay, yeah.
And he needs to be out of the starting 11. And then there's certain games you can pick him for. Obviously, we're in Europa as well. He can play in Europa. Like, I feel like he's good in Europe in general. To be fair, like I feel like Fred is better in Europe than in the league. But like McTominay needs to, because there is no scenario in which I would say McTominay should start. None. So that's my only reason why I'm like, he needs to go.
Yeah. Even games where, because I don't even think he should. Trust me. We saying you're not even having him for them games where we need a bit of bite in the midfield. Just
no.
Go and get me a highly, because my thing is, like Man City would never go and get a player like McTominay. No amount of buy is getting him into Man City.
I didn't buy him, so like no one's gonna buy a McTominay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, even the ones that are like McTominay in their academy, they wouldn't even play him. He wouldn't have even been a name to be mentioned to be promoted into the first team.
Mourinho's got to pay for that one still.
Yeah, facts. Well, then go and play up front for Shrewsbury Town. What's that? What's up my business there? What is my business there?
No, listen. I'd have to agree. Bro. There's and I liked McTominay until very late on. Like I gave him the benefit of the doubt until very late on. There was some performances that, to be fair to him, there has been not many, but there has been 2 or 3 performances where you're like, where you're like, raw. Like if only he done that week in, week out, because then you're like, okay, maybe there is not the starting 11, but like, okay, maybe there might
squad,
like what we were saying about Fred, there might be a space for him in the squad, but he has just not. At the age of how old now, 25, he's not kicked on to be anywhere near enough a good player. Do you get what I'm saying? So to at this point, I feel like we are keeping him around because of the lack of numbers. Like we literally, because we're so short in central midfield. That's, I think, the only reason why we're keeping him. And like Moyo said, there's no situation where I go, yeah, let's stick McTominay in, unless we've got 2-3 injuries and he has to kind of play. Do you get it?
You're right. I'm not gonna lie, you're right. Because I'm even deep in it. Like Sanchez just went for, I think, 15 million or the whereabouts.
Yeah.
You're telling me we can't take that out of the Glazers' pocket to fling it to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a mad thing still. I won't even lie to you. So the De Jong situation, it's a bit. Yeah, Sanch, what's your? Because I asked Moyo when you left, what's your thought process in terms of De Jong? You still all in? You still want to pursue it, or are you saying nah? Like now is the time to reroute?
Bro, it's a strange situation. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've heard reports he just doesn't want to come. I've heard reports that he's open to coming. I've heard, even just today, I've heard reports that he prefers Chelsea. Then an hour later, I heard he prefers United. It's very strange. I don't really know what he wants. I feel like if he wants to stay at Barcelona, but he doesn't mind, obviously coming United. I feel like that's the stance, which is okay with me, as long as you're open to joining. Obviously, the problem with the deferred wages and stuff is that's a joke. I don't understand what's going on there, and I think that's obviously the hold up. And I think if it wasn't because of that, I think he'll have joined by now. But obviously, Chelsea getting involved now. Obviously, London Champions League football. Really and truly, all we've got in this deal is Ten Hag, but we could potentially have got maybe two central midfielders. Because at this moment in time, I feel like if we get De Jong, we're not going to get another centre mid, personally. So Normally, I would have said,
Would you
yeah,
be,
long it off.
would you be okay with that? Sorry to cut you off.
Be okay with what?
Just having one centre mid. As in, I get Ian De Jong though, if you get what I mean. Because I'm being real. I mean,
No, it's a good question because
me personally, yeah, man. Because I know where Ten Hag's trying to play him, and that would mean the end of your famous, Mctominay and Fred partnership, Moyo. So, yeah.
I'd have to agree with that. Listen, it's obviously I feel like this is. I'm more disappointed at the lack of outs, to be honest with you. Like we've still got 4 left backs, about 3 right backs, about 1 million centre backs. Like, honestly, I really. That's what's annoyed me the most because that's what I was looking forward to the most. And I was having this conversation with my friend the other day, and I was saying, like, thank God, like I was saying to my friend the other day, thank God, all them guys that left on when their contract expired, thank God that their contracts were actually expiring, because our squad will be even more bloated. Because Mata would have stayed. I promise you, would have kept Mata. I promise you, would have kept Matic. Pogba would have. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, thank God their contracts were expiring. And yeah, I'm more disappointed in that and just the lack of outs. But to answer your question, yeah, you'd have to take it. Obviously, I'd want more, but seeing the way we've played, I could De Jong and Fred. I could make, you know my thoughts on Fred, but bro, if I have to eat it for another year, then so be it. But as long as that McFred is broken up, I feel like that's a step in the right direction, because my word, and bro, we're probably gonna start with that on Sunday. Another season where we're starting with that midfield 2. I don't know how many years has it been. Has it been like 3-4 years now? Something like that.
I'm not gonna lie, the club doesn't care about the midfield. Like, that's the one position that I feel like they've neglected for years.
But I disagree. I just think last season, I think we were getting a centre mid if it wasn't for Ronaldo. Cool.
Oh my Lord!
I know.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mad. Do you get that? It's like, bro, the whole world can see we're not doing anything unless you change that midfield. What do? They said, nah, it's calm. Varane, yeah, shut up. That's what
Facts.
they literally said. You lot just be quiet, because we're just gonna give you marquee signings for you lot to fend around with, which we did. In all honesty, we was excited. We was gassed. We was listen. The tapes don't need to be backdated, but you know what I'm trying to say. So it's like it's a mad one with the way the whole like board have been moving with our midfield. But I don't know, man. I just feel like Oli as well. Like he had so much chances to get a midfielder. He had chances. So
no, but he actually likes. You see, he was the one that actually loved that part. Don't be deceived to think that he got left with that partnership. He loved that partnership with his whole heart. He loved it.
Yeah, I get
Because Fred wasn't even playing under Mourinho, so he definitely loved it. Fred was not even. Fred made like 5 appearances in the league under Mourinho, but in a whole year, in a season.
Yeah, you don't fancy him still, to be fair. Now, moving on to the big topic. I'm proper interested to know what you lot's thoughts are, because we could actually be here for hours. CR7. And I'm going to start with Sanch, Moyo, because he's got a say. You know what I mean?
I told you to not bring this topic up, bro. I told you.
I mean, it's a safe space, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, let me. Okay, cool. So he's been touted around the whole world. As in the whole world, and no one wants him. Chelsea, it was looking likely. Bowley, the guy he's trying to hijack us now. I mean, the guy's moving nuts. He obviously was trying to get Ronaldo for his statement signing. Apparently, Tuchel obviously wasn't a fan. Nagelsmann came out saying, nah. Oliver Kahn for Bayern as well. They said, nah.
Yeah.
Napoli, they ain't got peas. They're brass. All the other teams that we were hearing at Atletico, come on, man. Like, cool. Because even me, I need to calm down for a sec. Cool. So we know he's been touted around the whole of Europe, whatever, the world, whatever you want to say. Cool. Laughing stock, United fans, whatever, you're a legend, this, that, cool. First question I want to ask you is, because bear in mind, okay, cool, he missed preseason. He missed most of preseason because it was confirmed he had family issues. A lot of people want to speculate with that, but it's been confirmed by reliable journalists that he had family issues, innit? Cool. So it's a weird one for me, innit? What's your thought process in terms of how he's handled himself, and has he disrespected the club? Because then we're going to move on to the Ten Hag situation and conundrum and whatnot. So I want to know your thoughts in terms of how he's been moving in terms of trying to leave the club.
I know, yeah, it's a difficult one because when you come out and say it's family issues, whatever, I'll be honest with the both of you. Yeah, I don't believe it for 1 second. I'll be honest with you.
Same.
And obviously, I feel like that was then able to be said because obviously it's Cristiano Ronaldo. If that was anyone else, I feel like it would have been said and put that he's just not turned up to preseason, kind of thing. So I'm gonna go off that thought process, and I feel like the guy has been nothing short of a disgrace, bro. No. I get it. Oh, bro. I was having this conversation with my brother earlier, and I said if that was, and I don't want to bring. I just feel like this guy was obviously the scout for a lot of people for a long time, and I just feel like we've got to put things into perspective. And I feel like if that was Paul Pogba doing half the stuff Ronaldo's done just this summer, there would have been, or I don't even want to imagine how it would have been. I can imagine already that in the ground on whenever they played, I think Sunday, they would have sang his name. I have no idea why.
They did.
Of course they did.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't think they
losers.
I'm not sure if they sang his name, but when he came out of the tunnel, they were doing their shoes and whatnot.
Yeah. So and obviously we were obviously there against Norwich when Pogba got ran out of time, and Pogba made his mistakes, granted, but he never done what we've seen Ronaldo do the last few weeks, and
Facts.
and I feel like Ronaldo is not getting what's going on here. I feel like Ten Hag's got an opportunity now to put his foot down and say, this ain't it. This ain't happening under my stewardship. You get what I'm saying? So for me to not turn up to pre-season, to then be offering yourself around the world, I feel like don't get me wrong. I'm hearing Sporting Lisbon. I'm hearing clubs like this. Like, bro, I don't think you understand. With all due respect to Sporting Lisbon and that, I don't think you understand how disrespectful that is. Like you want to leave Man United, yeah, the team you claim to love so much, yeah, and you came back and you got a story to finish. You would rather play for Sporting Lisbon. So what are you gonna do in the Champions League with Sporting Lisbon, bro? So you'd rather do that, go play in the group stage or get knocked out in the last 16 at best because you're gonna get a few goals rather than actually stay. He's actually got a year. We can trigger a year extension next year. So why not come here, stay, get us back in the Champions League, and then play in the Champions League the year after? Well, and then his actions on Sunday, you'd think, okay, and then the king is playing tomorrow. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all that was pissing me off.
Bro, I understand you're Cristiano Ronaldo. I understand you are the best player to ever play football. You get what I'm saying? But you've just pissed about for a month, posted about 10 Instagram post training and stuff, and then the king is back on Instagram tomorrow. Like, it's insulting, bro. I feel insulted. I'm not gonna lie. And then he plays a half. He was awful, and then he plays 45 minutes. He was awful, and then him and his best buddy just Dallo just this just decide to go in the shower, get ready, and off your like. It's just unacceptable, bro. And I feel like bro. I don't want to use such strong wording, but it has been a disgrace. It has been a disgrace, and I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him play. If you want to go play for Sporting Lisbon because that's what you desire, good luck to you. But on top of all that, I feel like some of the performances in pre-season that we've seen, going forward and as a collective, we would not have seen that if Ronaldo had gone in that pre-season. If we're talking footballing wise, and that's not to say Ronaldo won't score goals. That's not to say Ronaldo's the greatest ever. But I just feel like a lot of our play with Ronaldo up top isn't as fluid, isn't as. But that we're stuck in like a awkward middle zone because it's like, is Martial good enough? And then when we play Ronaldo, he will score goals, but it's a detriment to the team. So it's like, what do we do? We were talking about centre mids earlier. We need to get a bloody striker in as well. But with Martial, you can at least see what Ten Hag wants in maybe a year or 2 years' time with a proper striker in there and how good it can be. Because if it's that good with what we've seen with Martial up top, how good would it be with a better striker? And yes, off the field, he's been nothing short of a disgrace for me. On the pitch, I think he's a detriment to our team as well. So I just feel like I said earlier, this is an opportunity for Ten Hag to go, Bosh, Ronaldo, you've disrespected the football club. You've disrespected me. You've undermined my already. You've in a half of football, in 2-3 days you've been with me, you've undermined me already. So I feel like this is an opportunity for him to go, Ronaldo, see you later. Let me bring someone in like a 19-year-old like Sesko, who's going to be hungry, who's going to work off well with Martial and have a bet. And don't get me started on the effect he has on the dressing room. Like it's not Ronaldo. It's not just Ronaldo the footballer. It's just the way he's acted, the effect he has on the dressing room, the effect he has on the management. It's something we shouldn't have done last summer, and it's something I don't think we have to put up, especially in the Europa League this summer. So it's like,
how can we deal with that, Moyo, when no team wants him? So it's like,
it's
like Ten Hag. Sanch is saying Ten Hag should put his foot down, but even if Ten Hag puts his foot down, where's he going? Because no one wants him. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Do you know what I mean?
It's tough to be honest. I think I feel like Ronaldo's put himself in the shop window, but he needs to tell his agent to actually start calling people's phones. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the shop window is not working. It's not
Wrong
working because it's literally wrong number, honest to God. Because right now, I think he needs to try if he so badly wants to go to Champions League, I get it, he wants to go to Champions League Club, that's fine. But I feel like there's ways to go about it and he's not going about it the right way. And I just feel like he's doing what he wants because he knows that at the end of the day, when the stuff with Pogba was happening last season and they were like, oh, no one's bigger than the club, no one's bigger than the club. With Ronaldo, he kind of is. That is the aura of him, feels like he's bigger than the club right now. Like in his current state, he's probably bigger than the club. So I feel like he thinks he can just do what he wants, and then when it's time to stop playing, he'll just come back. He'll come back and play if no club has bought him. Okay, fine. But as of right now, he knows he can do what he wants. I think he's gonna have to make some compromises though if he wants to go to a Champions League club. I know they're saying, oh, he'll reduce his wages by X amount, but that is not enough. That him reducing his wages will still be way more than anyone else can pay. He's gonna have to reduce it substantially for him to even be an option for most of these clubs.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's why it's a weird one because he wants to go. We all know you want to go. Your agents not even backing down. You know, sometimes like you like we've been like it's mad the way we've been filled with so much information about his agent is in this place, his agent is his agent's trying to like that's the thing for me. That's like, broski, just sit down and relax, and then see if any team actually wants you. You've already said your intentions are for you to leave, so maybe wait for teams to come to you instead of running them down and getting mug shots left, right, center. That's
facts.
and
In that
go on.
in that case, yeah, do you see a world where Martial's the first choice?
No, just because me personally, no, just because he was so cold last season. I think if Martial put up even respectable numbers last season,
Yeah.
he would have some saving grace. But because he was so shocking, looked disinterested at times, missed me with all the lazy narrative, because you get I'm not me personally, I'm not with it. I just believe he wasn't putting in the work that he should have been putting in, as in most of the players weren't. I don't believe Martial's lazy, me personally, but no, I don't see a world.
So what are you saying? He has to off, bro, firing from Sunday basically for any chance.
But even still with that, there's still the question of, is he gonna carry it on?
Yeah.
Because he only seen him do it once, really, because his first season it was good, but it wasn't to anything of the numbers he put the season before last. So what? Do you agree?
With him though, I feel like Martial actually has like not a problem, but like, you know, like some players when there's competition that they step up. You see, it feels like as soon as we get another striker, he becomes disinterested. But it makes no sense here, because if you want to play at a top club, why would you be the only striker there? Like, there's no club in which you'll be the only striker there. I really don't get it. Like,
and he's got the benefit of being able to play out wide as well. So it should be like,
thing.
do you get? It's just so frustrating.
Facts.
So frustrating.
No, I completely agree. Like, he needs to think about, okay, even if I'm not playing strike, how am I going to be also a top option on the wing? Like, but for some reason, he just like mentally checks out like as soon as things don't go his way, basically. Like right now, preseason was so good for him because there was no one. Like, there was no one. Like, we were using Ahmad as a false nine when Martial was getting subbed off. Martial knew he was playing. Like,
100%.
Yeah. So what do you? So okay, cool. Going into the season, because obviously we've kind of touched on everything that I really wanted to touch on in terms of pre-season and just us going into the season. Who do you think, Moyo, starting with you, who do you think will be our biggest performer this season? And that's with our squad currently. So forgetting about the De Jongs of this world, forgetting about Ronaldo leaving, who do you think all fans will be happy with? So in other words,
Sancho, I think. So I think Sancho and or Eriksen, depending on how and where he plays. I think Eriksen playing well in the 10 is going to obviously bring more questions to Bruno, but I do think that he's an efficient 10. Like, I feel like with him, you get goals and assists, but you also get like natural central midfield play as well. And then with Sancho, I think he's going to have a good season just because the way Ten Hag actually wants to play football, I feel like is really suited to the way Sancho plays football. Yeah, but I feel like Sancho playing well is also kind of dependent on Rashford having a good season, because we need to have the athleticism on one side and then the brain on the other. So
which he definitely highlighted, because even when we was against probably Palace, maybe we was a lot of combination plays on the right with Dallo and Sancho, but on the left that game it wasn't really there, and he highlighted that. So no, I agree with you. What do you think, Sanch? Who do you think will be our player of the year?
Boy,
with all things considered, do you know what I
mean? Our player of the year, I'd like to go with Sancho. So I feel like I'm intrigued by Lisandro. Very intrigued. I just feel like someone of that height, it can only be interesting because it's like to see that in the Premier League, it's not too often. And I just feel like we've been chopping and changing with that left side of the back four with Maguire. Then it was Maguire got shifted to right side. Lindelof's played there. Varane's played there. So I feel like maybe a bit of balance. Can he strike a chord with, be it Malacia? Hopefully, I'd rather it be Malacia. Hopefully, can he strike a chord with there? Because then that would be good. But yeah, I feel like Sancho's got. There's quite obviously we've raised the question marks about Martial and obviously Ronaldo. What's going to happen there? We don't know. Rashford again is another lottery. But with Sancho, you saw glimpses last season, and then you saw a very, very good preseason. So you're just hoping that he just carries that on, and on his days, he probably is our best player, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, I hope it's Sancho, but I'm also intrigued about Lisandro. I think we need that safety net on the left hand side, and can he strike it with? I'm hearing it's Maguire. That's the first choice, but I'm also, although I've had my doubts about Varane, I feel like that could be a very good partnership too. So yeah, I'm optimistic about that signing. He was brilliant on Sunday. So yeah, I'd lean with Sancho, but I'm intrigued about Lisandro as well.
I'm gonna go with my boy Rashford. Criticized him.
Hopefully.
Yeah. God willing. I feel like there's a want for like from all of us for him to. Because it's like, I think Rio Ferdinand asked the other day, like, where's the 20 goals going to come from? Or something like that. And I was like, well, if Sancho, Rashford, and Martial, it's a big ask, perform to the way we know how they will be, I promise you, them 20 goals won't be a problem. And Rashford will be probably the biggest part of that. But
agreed.
We've both said, we need it. We need him to, like, we're literally praying for him to come clean again. But yeah, go on, bro. Sorry.
No. So yeah, for me, Rashford, I think obviously I was critical, like seriously critical. Rashford, like, do you get through the whole course of the season? Because I know he can do more, like way more than he was showing us last season. Came on against City. I remember that performance. I was sick to my stomach watching that game because I was genuinely.
Same.
You know what I mean? You're a Manchester lad. Like we're not from there, and we love the club so much. But you're from there, bro. So I expect to see you through me, if that makes sense. So you know what I mean? So it was kind of a disappointing one, but I'm backing him this season. He looks in great shape. He's had a good preseason. So he's got a manager that's gonna have his arms around him. You know what I mean? So I think it's promising for Rashford this season. Hopefully. I mean, who do you think will be our biggest letdown this season? And think about the starters. So I don't want you to say someone like a youth player that's, you know what I mean? So playing in a team.
Oh my days. I'm gonna open a can of worms here, bro. David De Gea.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Listen.
He's suspect as hell. I'm so sorry.
Listen, I feel when you're trying to teach a 30-year-old how to, that's the worries there already. And Henderson came out today.
Yeah, that we didn't even touch.
He's talking a lot though.
No. Yeah. I agree with you. He unfortunately for me has written off his United career.
Yeah.
I feel like I think that's it. And even if he didn't want it to be it, I feel like he's done. I think he's checked out himself. I feel like
Do you know what was baffling about that? I felt like he wasn't trained, like he wasn't briefed before he recorded that interview. It was kind of like it was kind of like off the cusp, like it's just like us having a conversation now. Like, tell me about your time at United, and he just said he wasn't even thinking of the what could happen, like how he was gonna be seen and whatnot. I think it was just you know what I mean.
His one was confusing as well, because like from what he said, the people that he should is like the people that he should be angry at, is Oli, and he's not there. So my whole thing was just like, what now is your? Look, obviously, I get why you're angry if you were promised X, Y, Z, but if you were promised it by someone, then you were promised it by a man that is not there. So ...
I felt as if the hierarchy. Sorry, Sanch, quickly. I feel like it was more hierarchy with Ollie as well. So it wasn't just Ollie.
Yeah.
The hierarchy was saying no, we can't let you go, blah blah blah. So I feel like it's like when someone's wrong, it's like nah, like I mean, you're strong. But I don't agree with it. You're a professional. You can't be having these kind of, you know what I mean?
Outburst. Yeah, it's an outburst. It's bro, to answer what you said, is I've heard few things where he's just a bit like he's outspoken. He's like he's obviously a confident lad. There was, I think Samuel Locker said today that's the reason he ain't been put forward for an interview, because he's just straight to the point kind of thing. He won't hide what he needs to say, which I listen. We ask a lot of footballers to come out and be honest, and so it was refreshing to see. It was refreshing to see, but in terms of his United career now, I think he's literally. But I think that's what he wants. I think he's had enough. I think he's not just angry. I think he's not just angry at Ole. I think he's angry at the football club.
I think he's angry at the whole club. Yeah, facts.
Yeah. So I just feel like he knew what he was saying. He said, "It's whatever. I want to go." I'm sure he wants to go to the Euros. I mean, sorry, the World Cup. And I'm sure he wants to get a move next season, which is obviously reflects his ability. But I felt sorry for him, because if De Gea was in front of me, I'll be scratching my head, and I'll probably drop the same interview as him. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, moving on from that, I just feel like De Gea, yeah.
I was having an argument with one of my boys literally the other day before we round up, and he was telling me Ten Hag, as what you just said, he can teach him. That's all I have to say, really.
And he was doing it. He was doing it in the first preseason game.
Yeah.
And like Bruno.
Oh my Lord.
Habits, you get, they come to show quicker than they go. But the difference between Bruno and De Gea is De Gea's by himself. It's an individual role. You are pinpointed for everything you do. Anytime you clear the ball, anytime, because we know what Ten Hag's trying to do, bro. So you can't pull the wool over our eyes and tell us that you've played out of the back, because he came out with quotes saying that he's done it. Didn't he say he done it under Fergie or some rubbish?
I'm not gonna lie, that whole quote that he came out with, I was just thinking, what stupid nonsense are you talking about? Because the two things that he highlighted, you know what made no sense? The first season he highlighted was the Fergie season, and he was awful that season.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing he highlighted was him in the national team, but you don't even get called up anymore. So what are you talking about?
Sanchez and Raya. Listen.
Like, come on.
You love that one, innit? Oh my days. No. But listen, like I saw it against Liverpool, and I said, okay, so you can do it.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
I was thinking, so I was like, no. It was slightly embarrassing to watch, bro. I was thinking like
embarrassing of that, bro. He's not. I can't. If you can tell me when De Gea's, I probably can't even count it on my fingers when he's come out to sweep last season for the.
And that's, bro. But that. My frustration stems from there, because I just felt. Listen, I was listening to Henderson today, thinking, bro, what are you doing? But at the same time, I'm like, wow, like Henderson's not. He's not the best goalkeeper. He might go on to be a very good one, but we're not sure about that. Yeah. There's no guarantee. Like, there's no. No,
he's got good traits, but we don't know. Yeah.
But what it says more about De Gea, that if honestly, if we remove De Gea and put Henderson there, we become a 10 times better side. And that's not even to the credit of Henderson, because he's this amazing goalkeeper. It's just because I feel like De Gea holds us back so much. And Henderson, in terms of coming off his line, claiming the ball, playing with his feet, is a different world to De Gea. So that's the reason why I understood his frustration, and I'm slightly leaning. I'm slightly on his side, kind of thing.
Same.
Even in pre-season, he got swallowed in the Villa game, and there was 2 other goals where you're just like, how are you letting that in? So I'm thinking, bro. I forgot. It was 2 games, didn't it?
Definitely better than him. Yeah, 2 games.
I said that earlier. Better than him. I said I soon gonna come here where I'm gonna start asking for Heaton to come in. I'm sure Heaton comes off his line quicker.
Man.
And I feel like in terms of the biggest letdown, I feel like around the rest of the squad, even with Fred and McTominay, I feel like even with Dallo, even with Shaw, they're good enough players to like to get by, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with De Gea, I feel like my man's over the hill, bro. And I feel like in terms, especially the importance of with the way Ten Hag wants to play, and just obviously we want to play with a high line, we want to play out the back. De Gea does neither.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna buy. I feel like it's gonna buy us so much. So yeah, I feel that's my player. That's my letdown of the.
Fingers crossed that's not the case. Fingers crossed that's not the
Yeah,
case.
fingers crossed.
Literally. Season starts obviously this week. So it's been good chopping it up, man. You know what I mean? Knowing everyone's
It's
thoughts
been
on this.
great.
You know what I mean? So obviously that's another video on our instant reaction segment. Moyo, thank you so much for coming through, man.
No,
Honestly.
Thanks for having me,
honestly,
guys.
no,
Honestly.
it's been. Thank you. Honestly, seriously, like we appreciate it.
It's been lit. It's been lit.
Thank
So
you.
Moyo's
Uh,
description is gonna be in the description below. All her socials.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you can find her there. She's obviously gonna be back on the channel 100%. You know what I mean?
Of
So
course, of course.
that's Sanch, Moyo. Thanks for having this conversation, man. That's another
yeah,
video.
man, and literally,
That's another video. You know
Perfect.
what I mean? Peace.
thank, peace.